a $1 trillion platinum coin. One of my subscribers sent me an interesting article about the idea of a $1 trillion platinum coin. I've got a $100 platinum coin right here. It's very nice. Platinum, of course, doesn't rust or tarnish. Historically, well, in recent times, it's been more expensive than gold. In the last few years, platinum's been cheaper than gold. It's like $100 cheaper. And when I first saw platinum dip a little gold, I was like, how long can that last for? The answer is years. So when you look at historical things, you got to figure things that are not historical can last for years. Okay, so the point of this article was, can a $1 trillion coin end the debt ceiling or whatnot? So what the author is saying is that the law says the treasury can mint coins, obviously. And the treasury is very specific about coins when it comes to pocket change, nickels, dimes, whatever. Very specific when it comes to gold and silver. If the treasury wants to mint a bullion coin like gold or silver, they have to have, an exact amount of gold, face value, whatnot. So if the treasury wanted to print, $1 trillion of gold or silver, they pretty much got to come up with the gold and silver. They can't cut corners. However, when it comes to platinum, let me read the law here. It says the secretary may mint, this is Secretary of the Treasury, may mint and issue platinum bullion coins and proof platinum coins in accordance with such specifications, designs, varieties, quantities, denominations, and inscriptions as the secretary's discretion. All right? So, basically, the secretary can make this coin whatever size, denomination, the specification it wants. The secretary could take this coin, slap a whole bunch of zeros and have a $1 trillion coin. As a matter of fact, why stop there? Why not make 16 more? 17 platinum coins, $17 trillion. The U.S. debt's all solved. Poof, right? Is it that simple? Well, obviously, it's not that simple. But what they're pointing out is that the law has provisions for the government and not just the Federal Reserve to issue currency. So there's a few more points right here, right? There's a whole discussion about this, and there's actually a 1,000 signatures that said people have a petition to petition them to do this. Now, but there's a flip side of the coin. In addition to taking this and adding, a lot of zeros, why not take the same coin and shrink the purity, right? I mean, this coin's got like $1,560 of platinum in it. Why not reduce the platinum content so it's got $1 of platinum in it, right? I mean, this is the secretary's discretion, right? Why not have $1 of platinum for a $100 coin? Then the Secretary of the Treasury could issue realistic platinum coins and also print billions and billions of dollars of this currency. It's, of course, fiat, because this is actually a fiat currency, because the value does not match the metal content, right? You see, even though the fiat is less than the metal content, this is still a fiat coin. Interesting. Okay, so now this would be anything on this would be very bullish for platinum, because if it brings the spotlight of the public's eye into something, right? I mean, if the public starts thinking platinum, the price of platinum will go up. This is where the real manipulation comes in. It's called a MOPE, Management of Perception Economics. If Oprah Winfrey or Jon Stewart wanted $100 silver, it's very simple. If Jon Stewart told all of his people to buy a silver coin, right, guess what? $100 silver happens. If Oprah Winfrey said buy silver, guess what? $100 silver. If we threw in Susie Orman and all of them said there's a silver shortage, buy silver, right? $1,000 silver is completely realistic. It's management of perception, right? That's the key thing, is the perception. And they could do this. They could take any of these precious metals, these big, popular, well-loved pundits, could send these metals to the stratosphere if they ever wanted to. They're choosing not to right now. Okay, so that's what I'm saying there. And yeah, platinum, it doesn't rust, it doesn't tarnish, very sturdy metal. But it is a hard metal, unlike gold and silver, a lot harder to work with, and it has a very high melting temperature. So that the Spanish, when they first saw this stuff in South America, they thought it was a hassle because the stuff would get in their ores and they couldn't really refine it there. It was really hard. However, new uses for platinum were found in the catalytic converters. And here's my opinion about all elements, especially the precious metals and the rare earth metals. As science progresses, they will find new uses for these things, right? Like when they first found platinum, they would never guess that the platinum would be used in a catalytic converter for an automobile. So I mean, matter of fact, in the 1800s, someone could probably buy literally a huge amount of platinum for very cheap, just store it somewhere. 100 years later, the descendants would be fabulously wealthy because of catalytic converters. Well, this probably the same thing's going to happen in the future. I don't know when and how, but I think there's going to be technological uses for even things like gold, right? Like right now, gold is pretty much the only quote money that doesn't have an industrial component, right? And the only like money found in nature, because silver has a huge industrial component, right? So that kind of competes with the monetary component. I've done videos on this before, some of my most watched videos. Gold doesn't have that. It's like maybe 90% of gold is really the money portion. What happens in the future is science gets better, that all of a sudden gold becomes an absolute necessity for, like they use gold for these mirrors in these telescopes, right? Because for reasons the gold. So there's new uses for gold. So what happens to this, the FOA blog, when all of a sudden the importance of gold to the industry outweighs the monetary portion? What happens then? That's another discussion. But yeah, I think that in the future, silver will have new uses we haven't found yet. But I don't know when. And so that's one of those things where I don't know when in the price. That's why I'm not going to make a prediction. But I'm just saying is that all elements in nature, as science gets better, we find more uses. Now, does that mean to sink all of your money in these metals? I don't think so. But something to think about. So thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.